Good afternoon, everyone. It is Tuesday, March 22nd, 2022. Today, we're going to be working on flat versus round characters. Our essential question is, how does character development by an author impact the story? Our objective for the day is to compare and contrast complex and flat characters. If you want to take a look at our agenda on the right, we're going to be introducing that essential question. We're going to be doing a quick activation on characterization. We'll introduce the topic vocabulary that we're going to go over, which is flat and round, or otherwise known as complex characters. We're going to do a quick review on the story The Most Dangerous Game, as you should have already read that in yesterday's class. We're going to do a mini lesson on how authors include complex and flat characters to advance the plot. Why do they include both flat and complex characters in advancing the plot? And then I'll have you do an independent practice activity where you're going to list the traits of the two main characters in the story The Most Dangerous Game and determine which is flat and which is complex. And then our closure will be a discussion and review of the essential question, an exit slip in which you will think about which of the following can be used to determine if a literary character is complex. Okay, let's get started first. Let's do a quick activation. What is characterization? A, the message or lesson of a story. B, discovering the traits of a fictional character. Or C, the time and place of a story. Go ahead and answer in the poll. While you're thinking about that, this is prior knowledge. You should already know what characterization is. Think about our essential question. How does character development by an author impact the story? And our objective for today is to compare and contrast complex and flat characters. So the complexity of a character is determined by the characterization. Okay, great job, John. Great job, Sarah. Thank you for answering in the poll. You are correct. Characterization is discovering the traits of a fictional character. Our answer is going to be B. Let's circle that one. Discovering the traits of a fictional character. So we're going to take this even a step further. We're going to look at the traits of our characters and determine if their traits make them a flat or complex character. Okay, first off, what is flat and complex characters? Take a look at the chart here. Again, a complex character, you'll sometimes hear it called a round character. A complex character is a character with many personality traits who can change throughout the course of a story. Complex characters have a variety of thoughts, emotions, relationships, and actions. They can develop over time and surprise the reader. A flat character in a story is a character who has only one or two personality traits and does not develop or change during the course of the story. Flat characters can often be described simply by the role they play or by the one or two character traits they exhibit. Take a look here on the right. There's a good chart here to help you determine, is this character flat or complex or round? Flat characters are uncomplicated. They remain the same throughout the work. Characterized by one or two traits. They can be summed in one or two sentences. They tend to be static, and they cannot surprise the reader since they are predictable. Round or complex characters are exactly that. They're complex. They undergo change through the course of a narrative from beginning to end. Characterized by many different, even contradictory character traits, cannot be summed up easily, and tend to be dynamic characters, can surprise the reader. So when you're determining if a character is flat or complex, you want to ask yourself, did this character stay the same throughout the course of a narrative? Or did the character not have any changes? If you can answer that the character had many changes, this is most likely going to be a complex character. And here we go. You have a little graphic here. A flat character is one-dimensional. You can see it like a square or like a flat circle. But a complex character is three-dimensional. There's many sides to them, like a real human being. He or she has shading and texture and can change over the course of a story. We're going to watch a quick video on complex versus flat characters. While that's going on, and I want you to be thinking about, and then share with a partner in chat. In your own words, describe the difference between flat and complex or round characters. Let's watch that video. Okay, everyone, so now that you were able to watch that short video on complex versus flat characters, I want you to pair share with a partner in the chat. In your own words, describe the difference between flat and complex or round characters. Okay, so now that we pair shared with a partner, great job, you guys. That's right. A flat character is one-dimensional, like a straight line, where a complex or round character has a lot of human characteristics. That's what we're looking for. Changes over the course of the text. Okay, what I want to do right now is review our story just to refresh your memory of what we read in The Most Dangerous Game. We're going to be looking at our two characters, Zaroff and Rainsford, and trying to determine if one of them is flat, one of them is complex, or maybe they're both flat, maybe they're both complex. But that's what we need to get to the bottom of. But before we do that, let's look at what was The Most Dangerous Game about.
This is a story about a man named Rainsford, an expert in hunting jaguar, who falls off a boat and is left on a deserted island in the Caribbean. Rainsford discovers that the island is not deserted, as a man named General Zaroff and his assistant, Ivan, live there in an elaborate mansion. Over dinner, Zaroff shares that he too likes to hunt, but has grown tired of hunting animals. Instead, he likes to hunt human with a revolver. Rainsford is appalled and wants to get off the island. Zaroff says that he will let Rainsford go free if he can survive 3 days on the island as his game. Rainsford is given food and a knife and heads out into the jungle. He tries to create loops and double backs, eventually hiding in a tree. However, Zaroff is too smart and finds Rainsford's hiding spot, but without stopping the hunt, he lets Rainsford go for another day. Rainsford decides to build a trap with sharp sticks hidden in a pit. However, Zaroff is aware of the trap and it only claims his dog. On the third day, Zaroff releases his hounds and pursues Rainsford to the edge of the island. Ivan is killed by a knife trap, and Rainsford is forced to jump into the ocean to escape the hounds. Disappointed, Zaroff returns home. In the end, as Zaroff is about to go to bed, Rainsford appears in his bedroom and kills him. As always, a lot can be said about this story, but what draws my interest and attention is the idea that humans are the only species that can use reason, and it's this ability to reason that makes us the most dangerous game in the world. As Zaroff outlines to Rainsford and the reader how he came to hunting human, he reveals that it is the ability to reason that gives human beings the ultimate survival mind. We're both selfish selfish and creative, which allows us to come up with some interesting ideas and behaviors. Generally speaking, a hunter will hunt and the game will run and hide. The game will continue to run until it feels it's safe, but it never really reasons that it could probably turn around and fight back unless, of course, it's cornered. But the entire time, its instinct guides it to run away. It can never reason and critically evaluate the situation, changing its course to perhaps try a different strategy. Humans are capable of doing this, and we see this through Rainsford during the hunt. On the first day of the hunt, Rainsford acts like game. He just runs and hides. However, by the second day, he is already on the offensive with a deadly trap. He reasons that his best chance of survival is not to run and hide, but to eliminate Zaroff. So how does this relate to us today? There are no Hunger Games or gladiator matches in existence, but we do see an arena where people can truly test their skill and minds against each other: online gaming. In the world of online gaming, specifically player versus player game modes, a human is matched up against another human. Usually there is one winner who, over the course of the match, outplays and outthinks the opponent. In the story, matching wits with another human gives Zaroff a psychological high, which may be why many video game players enjoy online player versus player games rather than against the preset computer. So, let me know what you think about the story in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe for more Minute Book Reports, and thanks for watching.
Okay, so now that we reviewed what we read in The Most Dangerous Game, let's try to analyze our two characters. We have Zaroff and Rainsford. So we have some traits up on the board and some movable pieces. What I want you to do is figure out what are the traits. Remember, Zaroff is the antagonist or bad guy, and Rainsford is the protagonist, or what you would consider the good guy. What are their traits? What are their motivations? How about doubts, ethics, conflicts, changes? Remember that this is going to lead us to, is this a flat character or is this a round character? Okay, so I want everybody to grab those movable pieces up on the board and start moving them where they should go. Okay, so we have traits. All right, everyone, great job. All right, really nice job, everyone. So we have our character Zaroff, the bad guy. His traits are he's a hunter and aristocrat. His motivations are hunting. His doubts, ethics, conflicts, he has none. Changes, he has none. Now, Rainsford, our protagonist, our good guy, his traits are he's an adventurer, writer, hunter, hunted, brave, fearful, noble, and murderous at the end. His motivations change. He goes from hunting to survival to revenge. Doubts ethics and conflicts. He wonders, is killing people immoral? Can he himself kill people? And then his changes. His attitude toward killing changes more than once during the story. And in the end, he becomes a murderer of a human himself. So taking a look at this chart here, you're able to now determine the flat versus complex character. Remember, if we go back up to that chart, flat characters are uncomplicated. Their morals and ethics do not change. They do not change. Round characters are continuously changing. Their motivations change. Their traits change. So if we go back to our chart here, it is easy to determine which of our characters is flat and which is round. So let's do that now. We'll do a waterfall activity where everyone types into the chat this sentence. It can be determined Zaroff is the blank character and Rainsford is the blank character. Which character here is the flat versus round character? I'm going to give you about a minute to do this now. Right into the chat now. Great job. It can be determined that Zaroff is the flat character and Rainsford is the round character. Wonderful. All right, last question of the day to exit out our lesson on flat versus round characters. Which of the following can be used to determine if a literary character is complex? A, the traits of the character, B, obstacles faced by the character, C, surprises by the character, or D, importance of the character. Go ahead and put your answer in the poll. Give you about 30 seconds to answer that. All right, you guys, remember, if you said A, you would be correct. It's the traits of the character. So for today's lesson, we'll go back over our learning objective. Compare and contrast complex and flat characters. I think we have mastered that objective now. All right, have a great day, everyone, and I'll see you back tomorrow.